Well, it's time. We're about to take off and head up to Washington to meet up with the climbing group.
Which climbing group are we going with?
RMI, Rainier Mountaineering.
We're Helen and Tim Travel, a husband and wife duo based in the Pacific Northwest with a goal to see the world one mountain at a time. Our next adventure brings us to the beautiful state of Washington, where we summit Mount Rainier with RMI Guides. Mount Rainier is the tallest peak in Washington, sitting at 14,411 feet. Hey y'all, so we are going to be heading up to Mount Rainier National Park and summiting Mount Rainier. This is going to be our biggest challenge yet, and we are excited for you to follow along on our grand adventure. Definitely a little nervous. I kind of have a fear of heights a little bit, and I know I've been working on that the last few years since I've moved out to the Pacific Northwest, but it is going to be a fantastic time, so I hope you enjoy the ride.
We're packing.
Packing for
Mount Rainier.
Look how messy this is.
It's gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
My favorite part of packing is the food. I even labeled it day 1, day 2, day 3. Got a mixture of salty and sweet as recommended from the guide service. Jerky, Haribos are where it's at. I legitimately bring Haribos for every mountain summit that I go on. And they recommended also bringing hydration powders, so I brought some liquid IV. I have tea and hot cocoa for the evening when it's going to be really cold up. It'll be about 27, so having something hot is going to be necessary. All packed up for the climb. So excited. So Tim and I have been training for this hike for probably the last 6 months. We've been hitting up different training hikes around our home area. Mount Hood has been our main training mountain. We've probably gone up and down that twice.
Too many times.
Too many times to count. About 6 times this season we've climbed up there to between 9 to 10,000 feet. And so yeah, we feel ready, we feel good.
Healthy?
Yeah, I mean...
No issues right now?
I know, we'll see.
So,
hopefully
yeah.
My clumsiness does not kick in, because we do not need that.
I'm sure it won't.
14,000 feet.
Never.
So, all right, we'll catch you on the road. And we're off. I'm getting so excited. Wanted to spend a few moments to talk about our favorite training hikes that we did to prepare for Mount Rainier. Number 1, Mount Defiance. It's in the Columbia River Gorge and a butt kicker of a hike, literally straight up in elevation from the beginning. Number 2 is the Elk and King Mountain Loop. It is in the coastal range on the way out to the Oregon coastline. On number 3, Broken Top. We did a backpacking trip just 2 weeks before. It was absolutely one of the most breathtaking backpacking trips that I have taken in the Pacific Northwest. And number 4, we headed out to the Smith Rock area in Bend, Oregon. So oftentimes it is very rainy here in the off season, so we need to go across to the southeastern side to get some hiking done and training done, especially when it is rainy and snowy here in this area. My co-pilot for life.
Hi.
I always appreciate Tim because he drives us everywhere, and I definitely fall asleep. And then he complains because I fall asleep. So I wanted to share a fun fact about the founders of RMI, Rainier Mountaineering Inc. So RMI was started by Lou and Jim Whitaker in the 1950s. Lou Whitaker was one of the first Americans to summit Mount Everest, the North Wall. RMI's history in general of 2 brothers having a love for mountaineering, starting a company here, and it's just been really successful for the past 70 years. We are standing outside of the Whitaker Mountaineering shop. It is an outfitter that RMI owns, and you can essentially rent stuff here. You don't have to be a part of the guide service to come in and check it out. They have this brand called Bite gear that's really awesome. Our friend Nick introduced us to it. Some of their base layers are the most breathable and awesome shirts we've ever had. Unfortunately, they are sold out, and I wasn't able to get one today, but...
Yeah, they had production delays, just like everything else.
You look like you're carrying a human.
I feel like I'm carrying a human.
Well, hopefully you can shed some weight.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can shed some weight.
Mine feels not too bad, but it doesn't have my water bottle.
No, it definitely looks worse than it feels.
Just putting my ice axe up in my bag. Our climbing team spent about an hour doing a gear check, going through each piece of our gear. They checked to make sure that it was adequate for our climb. Also, RMI provided us these guide packets that included the route information, packing list, a buff, and information on RMI, as well as really neat postcards.
The tail end of the trip, just a slight chance afternoon on Saturday.
So Tim and I need to rent a parka.
Feels a little too warm right now.
Well, I meant like the fit.
I know.
We ended day one with a debrief on our route for the coming days, as well as what to expect on our training days.
We got bathrooms at Camp Muir, which are nice. The little A-frame shelters where the guides boil the water and melt all the snow for drinking. Climbing rangers have a little shack up there, and then there's this side of the ridge is kind of for all the public, and then folks will have tents set up all along the coast.
We checked into the Whitaker Bunkhouse at 4 p.m. We were excited to have a place to crash for a couple nights while we were training on the mountain. Usually we spend our nights in tents and we don't have access to showers, so this is a bit luxurious for us. Bit about Whitaker Bunkhouse. It was originally built in 1912. It has over 18 cozy rooms with private bathrooms. It used to originally be housed for loggers and mill workers, but in 1990, Lou and Ingrid Whitaker had renovated the lodge to make it an historical place to stay for climbers, hikers, skiers, and anybody visiting the Mount Rainier area. Okay. I can't fit through the door. Oh man, you're gonna love how hot it is in here. It's so cute. I like the shiplap. So it is my job, usually when we walk into an Airbnb, hotel, cabin, whatever you want to name it, is to do the bed test. So here we go. If I bounce off too much, that means a little too springy and hard.
Oh, no bounce.
No bounce. So that's good.
Passes.
It's pretty soft. And in the bathroom, all the essentials. For dinner, we headed 5 miles down the road to the Wildberry restaurant. So our favorite part of traveling, or one of the many, is eating the local cuisine. So tonight we are eating at the Wildberry Inn, and tell them why I am so excited about this meal.
Well, the restaurant was started by a Sherpa, so the family is from Nepal, I believe, and so he was in the climbing community. Obviously, there's a strong climbing community for Mount Rainier, and fell in love with the area, and he started a restaurant.
I am definitely going to try some Himalayan food. I've never actually had Himalayan food, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I don't think either of us have. Nope. So let's give it a try.
Let's do it.
Oh, is that right?
So Tim ordered the chicken thali. It's yummy.
What does yummy?
So we got a soup, veggies.
Chicken tender.
Is it? All right. And you got the what?
The mushroom thali?
Mushroom thali.
Probably saying that wrong.
So we got a piece of blackberry pie from the Wildberry
It's actually
restaurant.
Marion blackberry pie.
Marion blackberry?
Yeah.
That was a little mix, okay. And then we came back over to the bunkhouse and we got some vanilla ice cream to go with it. So we are about to feast.
So Tim's going to dig into his...
We're gonna try this.
I think it's just
It's pretty good. Not the best I've had, but definitely like a solid 4 out of 5. And then I have a top it off with a Hefeweizen.
Mountaineering.
Just a way to wash it down.
Mountaineering meal of champions,
Yeah, right.
Well, that's a wrap for day 1.
It's day 1.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're staying at the Whitaker Bunkhouse, and the bunkhouse has a really neat history behind it because it was originally built in 1908 in the town of National, which is actually like 2 miles south of Ashford, and it was built for the lumber and mill workers. And so they stayed in it for several years. I guess they cut all the timber in the valley, and then the town kind of went defunct, and it turned into a veterinary clinic, a grocery store, and a thrift store, I think. And after a while, it just kind of became dilapidated, and no one was using it. So Lou Whitaker and his wife purchased it, and they cut it up into pieces, and they moved it up here to Ashford. They rehabbed it, and now it is, since then, it's been a bunkhouse for climbers on Mount Rainier. So we just had breakfast. We went down to the Whitaker Cafe and grabbed some breakfast croissants and a breakfast bagel, and got my Americano because got to start the day off right.
So for day 2, we are headed up to the mountain to do mountaineering skill training at the Paradise area in Mount Rainier National Park. It is a 45-minute drive from where we're staying here in Ashford, Washington. I'm so excited because I love the Paradise area due to its beautiful alpine environment. You can see wildflowers, marmot. It sits at 4,500 feet, and also there's a great visitor center that you can visit, and it is open May through October daily, but during the off season before May or after October, it may be on reduced hours or even closed. So make sure you check the National Park Mount Rainier website before you make your visit. Overall, Paradise is a great area. There's a bunch of trails that go off this main parking lot, and it offers panoramic views of the alpinist areas around Washington. For our mountaineering skills training, we hike from the Skyline Trail to Panorama Point. In total, this area is about a 5-mile loop with around 5,000 feet elevation gain. It's just a beautiful area for a day of training and also to take in all the views.
Well, we've arrived at our training site for the day.
It's going to be a really hot one.
It's going to be a hot one, yeah. Lots of sun exposure, as you can see, but it should be a good day. Do some glacier travel training.
Yep, working on those ice axe skills. Always good to know how to self-arrest when you're up on the upper mountain.
I like to have my wrists in front like I'm driving a big bus. And if you really exaggerate it here on training day,
say hi.
Hey.
What are you doing,
Just
huh?
a little snack. We're about to practice crampon usage.
points, really spooky. Roll my ankles, try and get flat-footed and using.
We just finished up our morning kind of training session where we went over duck walking and sidestepping, toe pointing.
Rest stepping.
What is it?
Rest stepping.
Oh yeah, and rest step too. Yep, definitely the rest step, which we've got to use.
All right, let's see what's for lunch.
Yeah.
Sandwich today.
It goes about a 45-degree angle to the snow.
Everyone know that, hey, one of our climbers is at the anchor and we need to just
Our favorite part of mountaineering skills was to learn how to travel on a rope team. We have never learned to do this skill before, at least in person. We've done it through YouTube videos. So it was wonderful to finally get this training and to feel more confident when we travel across glaciers. But of course, next up we will have to do some crevasse rescue training, but that will be in another future adventure. We just finished skills for the day. We are up at Panorama Point, and then we are now heading down back to Paradise. We wanted to share some fun facts about Mount Rainier. So Mount Rainier was not the original name of the mountain. Several Native American tribes call the mountain variations of Tacoma or Tahoma, which means the source of nourishment from the many streams coming from the slopes. We also have to acknowledge that Mount Rainier National Park is part of the traditional lands of indigenous people that have been here for generations, and these include the Cowlitz, Muckleshoot, Nisqually, Puyallup, Squathkin Island, and Yakima people. They are the original stewards of the land and the place that we recreate on. Mount Rainier is also America's 5th national park. It was established in 1899. Mount Rainier is the most glaciated peak in the United States. It has over 25 named glaciers.
Additionally, there are 6 tribes: the Cowlitz, Muckleshoot, Nisqually, Puyallup, Squaxin Islands, and the Yakima. The first 5 all live on the west side of the mountain and like the southwest. They speak a language called the Chute Seed. And the Chute Seed, the name for it, depending on who you ask, they're very similar all around, but the general consensus is Tacoma. It means Mother Creator of Water Life. It's no coincidence because it's the largest watershed contributor in the state. If you ask us out in Yakima, where we speak Sahaptin, it's a shared language with the Nez Perce in Idaho. We call it Tacoma, the Arabic Kain. Ways to say the differences one more time, just to yeah. So in the Chute Seed on the west side, Tacoma. Yeah. And then on the east and south side, like a zero. Yeah, Tacoma.
At the end of day 2, we headed back to base camp. So at RMI headquarters, there is a Rainier Base Camp bar and grill where you can grab a quick bite. And we opted for pizza because it was the perfect meal to prepare for our summit.
There you go.
I'm preparing my body for a climb tomorrow. I've got a massage block, and so I'm working my outer hip muscles that tend to tighten up.
Tell them what PT Time with Tim is.
PT Time with Tim is a website, blog, and YouTube channel where I teach people how to treat and prevent common injuries. And like today, or like we've been climbing, there's lots of muscles and injuries that you can come up with that can occur when you're on your trip, and trying to prevent those from occurring. And that's why I'm using this massage block on my hip.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
It was a really great day. They did a really great job at instructing us on different steps, self-arrest, glacier travel in a group, and stuff that we've never formally been taught. So I thought it was really quite helpful.
We've been learning through Freedom of the Hills textbook and YouTube videos. I mean, that's great.
Which is a really famous mountaineering book. So
that's great and all, but it's always great to get guidance from a professional instructor who literally has taken hundreds of hours of training to do this. So.
Yeah, first-hand experience. You can't. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get up and we're going to meet them about 8 a.m., which is the same time we met them this morning. We'll take the 45-minute drive up to Paradise and start hiking up to Camp Muir. So that's over 10,000, just over 10,000 feet in elevation. Get there somewhere around 2 p.m., I guess.
We'll break for dinner and likely eat around 4 to 5. We'll go to bed early, probably about 6 o'clock.
Super early, but try to get some Z's if we can.
And I hear rumors that they are actually going to get us up, likely around 10 p.m., still the same day. So we're going to be going to sleep and waking up the same day and making the summit bid, I think about 11 to 12 p.m.
Leaving
12 a.m. I guess 12 a.m.
Yeah, leaving sometime after 11, because with the amount of heat that we've been having, I want to start earlier because you want to get to the summit earlier so that you can start getting down earlier before the day gets really hot.
Get some good rest tonight. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
30% chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Morning. So today is the day that we go up to Camp Muir and then
summit the mountain. So we just narrowly escaped disaster. Tim almost forgot the lunches. No, I'm not going to blame Tim. We both forgot to pack our lunches in our bag until we saw somebody else with sandwiches, and we're like, oh crap, that would have sucked not packing 2 lunches. But anyways, today I am feeling all the feels. Nervous, excited. Mostly nervous, but I'm excited.
heading up to Muir.
Before, yeah, the before reaction is always going to be the good one. Taking our first break just below Panorama Point. Got my hydration, put some electrolytes in my drink today. It was really hot.
Bring your helmet and everything inside of your bag inside. Leave your bag outside. Everything in your bag and your helmet inside. Everyone brought all their bags and all their stuff inside. There'd be too much stuff in there and just wouldn't be very comfortable.
Almost 2 o'clock. We are getting very close to Camp Muir. We're about 15, 20 minutes out. Feeling good. No hot spots in the boots. Legs are feeling strong. A little bit hungry. Gonna load up on the blood sugar later.
We first made the hike up to Camp Muir in 2017, the first summer we moved to the Pacific Northwest. It is a hike that is very strenuous. It's about 9 miles round trip, over 4,600 elevation gain, and it can take roughly 6 to 8 hours to finish. So also something to keep in mind are the weather conditions. It is an unmaintained trail, meaning it is wilderness. There aren't marked areas. It is one of the most deadliest hikes in the United States, so please take caution if you are on this trail. Make sure you have all of your essentials, your 10 essentials, your navigation, and making sure that you check the weather windows before you head out on this hike.
So we are about to head into RMI's bunk.
About to grab.
We're feeling good.
Feeling good?
Check this out. It's our views for the night. Ooh, I like. Very cozy. So RMI has one of these amazing bunkhouses for all of the climbers to sleep in. Tim and I are just choosing our bunk.
The other guiding groups, climbers, all camped out to go to the summit tomorrow morning.
Setting up our beds. It's so nice not to have to carry up sleeping pads.
Before we ate dinner for the night, we had a quick team debrief of what to expect for the summit bid at
Story
midnight.
rate goes way down and we're not breathing. You know, we're breathing like we're at sea level, and then you'll start feeling the effects altitude.
Just a few fun facts about Camp Muir. It was originally known as Cloud Camp. It was named after John Muir, the naturalist and writer, and it is primarily used as a high camp, a place for climbers to sleep before they make their summit attempt, but it is open for hikers to climb up to, as well as you can stay in Camp Muir if you have a permit.
Hot water. I'm making a vlog, so.
Oh, nice.
I am wishing I brought dessert though. Oh, I got 3-bean chili.
Ooh.
But what I'm really
fancy.
stoked for is this mushroom risotto.
Ooh, risotto.
So exciting.
Solid choices.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're sitting here, we're having dinner. I've got beef stroganoff. Helen's got chicken and dumplings. It's about 5 o'clock in the evening.
Lights out's going to be around 6, and then they're going to come wake us up around 10 or 11. They didn't really tell us, so that's going to be a surprise for us. We'll have about an hour to eat breakfast.
Get ready.
Breakfast at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and then have a little. Yeah, we're not going to sleep well tonight. We're going to have some coffee, and then get our gear ready. So we'll head out. Hopefully, probably 11 or midnight or so.
About to head to bed. This is our cozy quarters for the night. We all went to bed at 5:30 p.m., but most of us were restless throughout the night, so we ended up getting up, enjoying the sunset, went to the bathroom way too many times, and then finally, it felt like it was only an hour of sleep. We all got our wake-up call at 11:30 p.m. Ready. Everybody's getting their stuff ready.
There she is. There she is. We're getting ready to go. Got our rope laying out here. Super close. You gotta press and hold, silly. Turns it to white. Now yeah, there.
Alright, team, let's clip onto the rope.
Our climbing teams headed out about midnight. It was a spooky experience to be traveling in the dark across these fields of glaciers. There were also trails of lights going up to the summit, and it seemed very endless from where we were standing. But it was so neat to see all of the grand crevasses that we had to walk across. It was pretty spooky at times to see nothing but a deep drop off. We did have instances where we did run into a lot of rockfall that we had to really stay alert on, especially since it was so dark we could hardly see more than 10 feet in front of us. This adventure was definitely one for the books, and we were so excited that we had the opportunity to have at least some decent weather windows. It did start to rain, sleet, and it got very windy. We had to put on our parkas multiple times, so we are glad we had rented them. Climbing Mount Rainier was definitely an out-of-the-world experience. We highly recommend it to anybody who has an interest in getting into mountaineering and exploring the crevasses of the upper glaciers, whether it be either on Mount Rainier or anywhere else in the world. And, well, the end result of this climb didn't go as we planned. We made it all the way to an area called High Camp. All of the guides found out that we were stuck because a crevasse ladder was out. There was no safe way to pass over this vast crevasse. The ladder had come pretty much undone due to the unseasonably warm weathers that the upper mountain had been getting. When we started on this climb, it was actually above freezing, which is very rare in the upper elevations over 10,000 feet on Mount Rainier. And unfortunately, with those warming temperatures, it really shifted things up in the glaciers that evening. The teams the night prior were able to summit attempts, but you know, that's just how it goes. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes things just don't work out. But the most important part is we return safely as a team, we come down safely as a team, and we return home to climb another day. Due to safety and being aware of our surroundings, we only decided to film with GoPro along the way. Tim's hair-raising memory was going over a crevasse snow bridge when our team member got stuck on a rope line and he ended up having to hang out on this snow bridge for a little while. It definitely was a little dicey. In the last 24 hours with our mountain ascent and descent, we gained over 9,000 feet. That is a lot of knee-pounding feet on our joints. And though we didn't hit our summit attempt at over 14,000 feet, we did make it over to 13,200 feet, which is still the highest that we have ever climbed on a mountain in a given 24 hours. And overall, we just had an amazing time with RMI Guides. This has been a 2-year in the making trip for us. It was canceled due to the pandemic last year. And while we were heading down the mountain, we did not film too much footage. We were just exhausted from not sleeping, but we did have an amazing time just getting to know all of our climbing partners, as well as just being in an area that is one of our favorites since we've moved to the Pacific Northwest.
Made it back to Camp Muir.
What time is it? Like almost 9? 10 till 9?
Well, we made it back early because we had to turn around at the ladder that had fallen into, or at least one end had fallen into the crevasse. So because there's some warm temperatures overnight.
Yep, we made it to 13,200 feet, about 1,200 shy of the summit.
We did have a couple moments of excitement though.
Yeah, there was
some rock fall.
rock falls and kind of super sketchy crevasse crossings, but
Yeah.
overall,
Yeah, it was a good trip. It was fun doing some glacier travel.
yeah, it's our first time really doing kind of an expedition style, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun to experience something new, travel on a, sorry, I have like dust in my eyes, travel on a rope team, and just essentially be on Rainier. This is the highest that I can't see. This is the highest that we've ever been on a glaciated mountain, so I'm just proud of ourselves, and honestly, if that ladder was there, we would have made it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we definitely would have made it because we were feeling good all the way up to there. So
summit
was
will
good.
always be there. Try it again in the future.
everyone came back safe, and
All that's important.
yeah, can't control the mountain.
Nope.
All right, so we're gonna hang out here,
Have some lunch.
pack things up, and then head back down to Paradise.
Excited to see the babies.
We made it down to the Paradise parking lot at about 2 p.m. So just to recap, we started the hike 24 hours prior and left around 11 a.m. the previous day, and now over 24 hours later, we finally made it back. And though we didn't reach our goal to hit the summit at over 14,000 feet, this is still the highest that we've ever hiked, and we are just so proud of our efforts and that we always commit ourselves when we are traveling through the mountains. So we hope you enjoyed our adventure, and we'll catch you next time on the trails.